Haunting Idiots. Hello, Fearlings. Here's a horror short just for you. I love ghost hunters, especially bro dude ones. Scaring the hell out of them is the best. The game is simple. Make them wet their pants while giving them zero proof that ghosts are real. It's amazing. I'll appear at the end of a dark hallway, causing the cameraman to wet himself. Works every time. Then I'll go invisible and erase the footage. I learned how from watching videos on BooTube. It keeps my mind sharp. The added bonus is that their fear tastes like the best chocolate ever. But the best thing is causing a manly man to scream like a 4-year-old girl. As the living say, I've found my authentic self. Good night, Fearlings. Mr. Fluffington. Hello, Fearlings. Here's a horror short just for you. Mr. Fluffington sat at the end of Katie's bed waiting. It was just past midnight, and he knew his human was in trouble. The apartment they'd moved into was haunted by a demon. The stupid dog sure wasn't going to help. The thing barely knew where it was. He despised the drool machine, but his human needed a pet, so he let it live. Mr. Fluffington was 9 pounds of rage. The demon growled from the dark corner. Mr. Fluffington knew what it wanted, to eat Katie. He was not going to let that happen. She was his and no one else's. The beast wriggled across the floor to the foot of the bed. Slowly it rose up the side. It was a long, snake-like creature with a human head and long fangs. The thing was big enough to swallow Katie whole. Mr. Fluffington waited for it to slither onto the bed. Then he pounced. The demon yowled as the cat devoured its very essence. Mr. Fluffington licked his paws, purring with satisfaction. It was time for a nap. Good night, Fearlings. The baby. Hello, Fearlings. Here's a horror short just for you. Okay, Mrs. Young, let's start with the good news. Your baby is looking very healthy, but what? What's wrong? You're having a boy, a girl, another boy, 2 more girls, a boy, a girl, and another boy. I'm going to be like Octomom? No. Your child has 8 heads, 1 transdimensional body, and it looks like several tentacles where the arms and legs should be. He's a monster? Ma'am, the term now is human adjacent. Sorry. What can you tell me about the father? Well, I met him in Arkham at a comic book and foot fetish convention. I was there for the comics. He was there for the foot fetish convention. He was very handsome and only concerned about my feet. Did he have feet of his own? No, he just liked feet, a lot. But he undulated on tentacles. I was just looking for a quick hookup. Is my baby going to be all right? Oh, absolutely. He, she will be fine. And I think one hell of a swimmer. Good night, Fearlings. The Honeypot. Hello, Fearlings. Here's a horror short just for you. I met my girlfriend sailing the Mediterranean. Her mermaid pod was singing a hypnotizing song. It led us straight to them. They were beautiful, Atlantis 10s all the way. I never knew how good scales and cleavage could look together. It's like chocolate and peanut butter, but with a fishy smell. They were perched on these jagged rocks, and I knew the boat would be toast, but my captain didn't seem to care. He was going in. I decided crashing wasn't the way to impress these guild goddesses, so I jumped ship, swam over, and introduced myself. My boat and former crew slammed into the stones, and all hands were lost. Sarcetta the Brutal was impressed with me, and, well, I'm hers now. We're expecting a clutch of little mer people any day, and I couldn't be happier. Good night, Fearlings. The Red Light. Hello, Fearlings. Here's a horror short just for you. Every night it was there. A glowing red light in the neighbor's window. A light so bright that even with the shades drawn you could see its shine. I couldn't help but stare at it. It seems so silly now. Who cares, right? It was none of my business, right? But the light called my name. I waited in the apartment building hall, watching. I needed to know whose light it was. A young woman, no more than 23, entered the apartment around 9. I went to the door and ran away. I just couldn't knock for some reason. Back home, I looked, and sure enough, the light was still shining in the window. Why? Why would this girl have a small, bright red light on every night? I had to know. So I got my courage up and knocked on the door. She wouldn't open it, told me to leave. But I had to know. So I started knocking harder, begging. She said she'd call the police, but I came this far, and goddammit, she owed me answers. Finally, the door gave way with a booming sound. In that moment, I learned 3 things. 1, she may have looked young, but she was a very old witch. 2, The red light was a small ball that held all her magical powers, and 3, those powers were made up of human souls. Now, I'm trapped in the red glowing orb until she uses my soul for some spell. At least I can see my old apartment across the alleyway. Granted, it's bathed in a red hue. I miss that place. Good night, Fearlings.